So the big question is this: how do investors like us who trade options and manage our own money generate income regardless of where the stock market goes, and do it all in a way that lets us make time for the people and things we love, and yet still build wealth and remain profitable? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. I'm your host, Kirk Duplessis, and you're listening to The Daily Call from Option Alpha. Hey everyone, this is Kirk here again from Option Alpha. Welcome back to The Daily Call. Today, we're going to be answering the question, do you want proof that Warren Buffett is an options trader? So I've often talked about ad nausea the fact that Warren Buffett, one of the biggest all-time investors, is actually, in secret, a very big options trader. In fact, he sells a lot of single option put-leg contracts on equity indexes, etc. And what he states in a lot of his writings is that the implied volatility edge that's present in option selling is very much the same as his insurance businesses that he owns. And so I challenge people all the time to look this up yourself. So I'm going to walk through today where you can actually find this information. It's very easy to get to. Not a lot of people actually do it, which is what actually baffles me all the time, is they challenge me on this, but then they don't actually look it up. So I'm going to show you guys how you can get to it very easily here today on the podcast. Now, before I do that, what I want to do is try to get your help also. I've been trying for years now to get Warren Buffett either on the podcast or in person to do an interview on how he does options trading. And I know it's going to be an uphill challenge, but what I want to see is if you guys can tweet or send messages or emails to him or his company for us to get him on the podcast and just simply talk about how he thinks about options trading. You know, most people in the media, when they talk to Warren Buffett, it's always about the new long-term buy and hold investments that he has. But they rarely, if ever, talk about short option contracts that he's selling. In fact, he's selling billions and billions of dollars of them. And so I want to be the first. So I would encourage you or ask you to help out, please, in trying to get him on the podcast. So you can tweet at him, you can send a message, write him a letter, do whatever you need to do. We've been trying for years now to get him on, and I think it would be awesome. So first thing to do to find out where proof is of Warren Buffett's options trading is just to go to Berkshire Hathaway's website. And from there, you can click on the annual reports. And then from there, you can click on the quarter that you want to look at. Now it's filed since they have continuous short option contract exposure. It's basically any of the last 8 or so years. I think it actually goes back almost 10 years now that you can see a lot of these, and you can just click on any one of these quarterly reports. The one I'm using today is the second quarter report for 2018 because the third quarter report is not quite out yet. Now, when you open up this PDF, what you can do is hit Control and F on your keyboard and then just search the words put options. And that will then go through all of the different documents and all of the different pages and find the first and couple instances where he actually mentions index put option contracts, and you can read those sections. In the 2018 second quarter report, it's under note 13 for derivatives contracts. And what he says is that we're a party to derivative contracts primary through our finance and financial products. And these equity index put options were written with a total basis in the notional millions as follows. And so he lists out where the liabilities are in the equity index put options and where the notional values of these contracts are. In many cases, the liabilities on these contracts and the values are obviously much different than where he sold these options at because the markets have gone up, and that's good, so good for him. But of interesting note is that actually in the second quarter of 2017, he actually lost money in equity index put options, at least how they calculate and determine their fair value, because they're a little bit illiquid for the size that he's trading. But in many respects, he's made a lot of money selling put options. In the second quarter of 2018, he made $372 million for Berkshire Hathaway selling put options. So like I said, he's one of the largest index option sellers out there, and still nobody talks to him about it. Nobody asks him about it. I think it's crazy that, one of the biggest investors of all time, who's running out of timeline here, for us to be able to interview him, is actually one of the biggest option sellers. So hopefully this helps out. Like I said, I encourage you to go through and start investigating some of these traders that are out there. What we're doing here at Option Alpha is nothing different than what some of the largest, smartest investors of all time are doing as well. Hopefully this helps out. As always, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And until next time, happy trading. Thanks for joining us on The Daily Call. Be sure to subscribe right now for more daily options trading ideas, strategies, and tactics to help you learn how to place smarter, more profitable trades. And if you like what we're doing, don't forget to give us a rating and a review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you again tomorrow, right here on The Daily Call from OptionAlpha.com.